Today, I want to share with you how you can become a super parent. Hey, welcome to the No Perfect Parent podcast. My name is Rick, and thanks for taking a couple of minutes to let me share with you some of the tips I learned on my parenting journey. You know, I actually know a genuine super mom. She always looks great. She's never frazzled by her children. Her younger kids, they never act up. They love to take naps. They never have to be told to pick up after themselves. They never squabble. They never spill their freshly squeezed orange juice or drop their 100% organic food on the spotlessly shiny floor that she keeps. The older ones, they always come home early. They do their homework without any prodding. They speak respectfully to adults, and they love to help around the house. I know that sounds unbelievable, but this is a real person, and that is exactly the way her children are. Well, at least that's how she assured me her kids would act before she actually had any. And then came the real kids and the real world. You know, as a young dad, I quickly discovered that kids are like kryptonite. It's easy to be a super parent if they aren't around. But as soon as your crypto kids show up, your superpowers seem to fade, and like Superman, you're left helplessly gasping for air, desperately trying to escape their clutches. If your crypto kids have sapped all your superpowers, I have some great news for you. Number one, it's okay to not be a super parent. You know, there's never been a perfect parent. Adam and Eve probably came the closest, but one of their boys murdered the other. The only hope we mortals have is in a super God, and especially in His super grace. You know, the fact that you're listening to this tells me that you want to be a good parent, and you're investing the time to get better. And just that means you're probably well ahead of the curve. So be encouraged. God sees your heart, and He's going to honor you for it. Psalm 37:4 promises this: delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. But no matter how much you learn, you're still not going to have all the answers. You'll never get it all figured out. You know, much of the time in my parenting journey, I was just kind of muddling through trying to figure out what to do next. But here's a promise from 2 Corinthians 12:9. It says, my grace is all you need. My power, that's not my superpower, that's God talking about His power. My power works best in weakness. Well, I certainly had plenty of that, and I'm sure you do too. You know, God is able, even though you and I are not. And number two, let me just encourage you, it does get better. You know, I've lived long enough to look back, and I can see that there's hope in your future. Your kids will grow up. They will stop the endless squabbling. They will pick up after themselves. You know, one day they will probably even become civilized human beings. In our case, none of this happened until after they moved out on their own, but hey, it did all happen. Your days of being a helpless weakling surrounded by living kryptonite will come to an end, and one day you will regain your superpowers. You know, that happens when you are transformed into a true superhero, a grandparent. Once again, you'll become an expert who knows everything. You may even start a parenting blog like this where you can share your infallible wisdom with others. So just hang in there. It does get better. By faith, keep investing into your kids, even if sometimes it feels like you're just pouring precious seed into an empty hole. Your best days are still ahead, and God will guard that seed and make it grow at the proper time. You know, there is hope for your future and for your children. And by the way, I didn't say that. That's Jeremiah 31:17. There is hope for your future, declares the Lord, and for your children. Hey, if this podcast is helpful, I hope you'll share it with someone you know would benefit from it also. And take a moment right there to subscribe below so that you get each new edition.